All these frustrating things, only dimension. Some of these things was all it took to morph and change, transform into a spectating thing. More of a new, frightening thing, big red, frustrating thing. Wide-eyed beast plus tiger stripe, stripes that come with a side of white. Privileged eyes go running high, these creepy things come out at night. Poverty-ridden, such horrible things. What? It's Scarlet Frustration, 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 Scarlet Frustration.
Welcome everyone to a Scarlet Frustration Holiday Special. Also, in this video and all other videos, down in the description, there's timestamps. You can even skip the intro. Today, we're going to talk about the history of Thanksgiving. But before we start, we will cover one term to tie it all together at the end. Colonization. According to Oxford Languages, colonization is the action or process of setting among the established control over the indigenous people of an area, or the action of appropriating a place for one's own use. Next, diving into the history of Thanksgiving. According to Britannica.com, Thanksgiving Day is an annual national holiday in the United States and Canada, celebrating the harvest and other blessings of the past year.
Rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub.
Americans generally believe that their Thanksgiving is modeled on a 1621 harvest fest shared by the English colonists, Pilgrims of Plymouth, and the Wampanoag people. American holiday is particularly rich in legend, symbolism, and the traditional fare Thanksgiving meal typically includes turkey, bread, stuffing, potatoes, cranberries, and pumpkin pie. This holiday is often the busiest time of year to travel, as this holiday, family members gather with one another in one location.
Nothing like being with family.
I am hungry. Come on now. Miss Purdy, are you and Sherman having relations?
No, Grandma. It's not like that. We're colleagues.
That's how I start out, colleagues. Me and your grandfather was colleagues. Next thing you know, he's on top of me in the shed, pumping and sweating.
I would like to volunteer to take this old bird out of her misery.
Thanksgiving began in 1621 with a few Plymouth colonists who were a part of the English separatist group who arrived in 1620.
Land ho!
1621, the Plymouth colonists were going out fallin, which means hunting for birds. But the colonists were hunting for turkeys, which were the easiest prey next to geese and ducks. However, they killed the same amount of turkeys as the same number of individuals that served in the company within 1 week. Next, 9 years or so, Wampanoags made a surprise appearance at the settlement gate, surprising the 50 or so colonists. Over the next few days, the two groups socialized without incident. The Wampanoag hunted venison for the feast, which included the fowl the colonists had hunted, fish, eels, shellfish, stews, vegetables, and beer. Since Plymouth had very few buildings and manufactured goods, most people ate outside while sitting down on the ground or even on barrels with plates on their laps. The men fired guns, ran races, and drank liquor, struggling to speak in broken English and Wampanoag. This was a rather disorderly affair, but it sealed a treaty between the two groups. Well, until King Philip's War of 1675 through 1676, in which hundreds of colonists and thousands of natives lost their lives. A war that pitted Native Americans against the English sailors who they considered allies, and one of the bloodiest conflicts per capita in U.S. history. According to MassHumanities.org, by the 1670s, there were more than 50,000 English colonists living in New England, and they were steadily colonizing on the land held by the native people. In 1662, the chief of the Wampanoag, Wamsuta, was seized by the Plymouth court for independently negotiating land sales. Shortly after, Wamsuta died while in captivity in the Plymouth colony. His brother Medicon, also known as King Philip by the English, was driven with hatred due to the loss of his brother Wamsuta. Medicon's objective was no longer peace, but to drive out the colonists. This is what led to King Philip's War of 1675 through 1676. The thing to take away from this is peace can be attainable, which is a wonderful thing, as per the initial meeting of the Plymouth colonists and Wampanoag people. Playing games, attempting to communicate using both their languages the best that they could. However, war is inevitable when you start colonizing on another's personal space, be the English colonizing on native land. So be good to each other. Respect one another, even if it differs from your own way of life. Share knowledge and receive knowledge from so everyone can grow. Respect boundaries and don't take what is not yours. So don't be a colonizer.
All right, where am I?
Don't scare me like that, colonizer.
So thank you all for watching and have a wonderful Thanksgiving or a wonderful Diversity Turkey Day. Good night, people.